Hi, Raymond. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Leo.
Wow, that's great. Yes. Of course, I'm getting back my energy, I think, because it is getting closer and closer, only half an hour more. So I want to keep up. That's it.
There you go.
Okay, now it's your time. Carry on. I'm going to make you as a co-host. 1 second. Make a co-host.
That's fine, Leo. I won't be sharing slides today. I'll just be
All
talking.
right, it's up to you if you
Yes,
wish.
yeah. Be being so late. There's not much. Uh, the
No, no, no.
brain
You
can
are in
only
time.
handle so much information. Yeah, we're good. My name is Raymond Harlall, Dr. Raymond Harlall. I've received an honorary PhD just because of the work that I've been doing. I didn't go after it. I didn't try to get the PhD, but I met a guy and he said, the day I launched this book, it was 2 years, a year and a half ago, in actually June 1st in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. When I launched this book, he was sitting in the front row and I autographed the book and gave it to him. And after he went back home to California, he called me and said, Raymond, you're a genius. The stuff you put in here, it's beyond your time. You look like a young man, but when I read this, you are a verbal engineer. I never heard that term before. And he said, verbal engineers are people that create new terms, new words, new explanation for something that was already there. Because when we communicate, if you keep using the same word over and over, it becomes the same as um, being at home. And I know I didn't get to catch the session with the great Jim Hetherington, and he's a relationship guy. I did get to watch Dr. John Gray yesterday evening, and uh, you know that. Well, my explanation for relationship is nothing is interesting if you're not interested, and that's it. That's the end of it. If you have issues and it's not interesting and things you're not interested. That's why you're not interested. That's why it's not interesting. So I just wanted to say that and come back to why it's important to create new terms for maybe the same way of living before, and how important it's very important. It's important in relationship, and just speaking to someone, just carrying a conversation with your spouse at home, because we get my dad kind of, I think he has conditioned himself to go deaf so he doesn't hear my mom anymore. And it's quite interesting. Interesting, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to go deaf because then I can't hear anyone after a certain age. So, as an authority, you say, Raymond, what does a story get to do with becoming an authority? As an authority, you have to come out with great ways to explain your skills, knowledge, expertise, your life passion, even, or something that you even want to get into. If you're a researcher, you could research everything, but then you change the words, you systemize them differently. You have ABCD method, 1 2 3, like Maslow hierarchy of needs. You can create different things that will be captivating. Don't just be everybody else. Why we remember Maslow hierarchy of needs? Because the man named it Maslow hierarchy of needs. If he didn't put his name, it would have just been hierarchy of needs. So uh, as you create content and you want to become an authority, you shouldn't do all that work just to be an authority for a year or 2 year or for your lifespan. You should do it to create a legacy. How do you differentiate yourself from everyone else? We all look different. We speak different. I can pick up a phone and know the voice of many people that I've spoken to. So why do we always try to be the same as somebody else? Why do we always try to copy the next guy? Or because if you copy somebody, people will know very quickly. People will always know if you copy somebody. The world needs original, and they need them now. So let me structure this for you. There's 3 things you must do, and there's also three systems you have to follow. So there are 3 and 3, 6 things. The problem in the world is putting the 6 things together is very difficult and make them all work smoothly. And that is, it's simple. It's simple things. You know something. You have to know something. Look at YouTube, type any word. You're gonna see somebody with a lot of views on there for knowing that thing. And you're gonna see like, holy shit, it's a regular guy. How he got all his views on this one topic. And it's the same as taking a shark out of the ocean, putting the shark on the sand on the beach. The shark can't quite attack anyone. The shark's going to be in defensive mood. And that's the problem with most people trying to become an authority, to be different, to be the number one, for the world to know their name, your name. Because if you're a shark, you need to be in the ocean, not on the beach, not trying to climb a tree, not trying to fly. Michael Jordan wouldn't go try to play golf because he may or may not play well. I don't know, but he won't even play golf. Why? Because that's when you hear of golf, you know it's Tiger Woods. When you speak of basketball, you know it's Michael Jordan. So what is it that you are good at is one, plus you have to play in the right environment. If you're playing with children and you're a PhD level, they will think you're cuckoo. If you're a child and you're talking to PhD level, they will think you're cuckoo. So you have to get in the right circle of influence. You really do. You have to know your skill very well. You know it already. And everybody have a different way of learning. You can learn visually. So you're seeing here, so many people will just listen to this while they drive or take a train somewhere. And so you have to know as an expert, how you're going to package and promote your content. How are you going to position, package, and promote your content? That's 3 of the things I want to talk to you about today. And remember I said there's 6 things you got to kind of get together and flow together. That is what the first thing I want you to know is what you know. You have to know what you're best at or what you've accumulated the most knowledge in. If you were an IT guy for 20 years and now you say, hey, I want to change my career, great. But that new career, is that really your strength? You may hate IT, but it doesn't mean you have to do anything IT. You can just teach, systemize what you know, and then teach IT. It doesn't mean you have to leave that industry. That was because you're leaving a PhD level education, experience, skill, knowledge, expertise, and you're coming to try to start a new thing where there's a million other people ahead of you. And when you explain something, people will say, hey, this guy's not really, really good. And so some people just can't get over the fact that I'm burnt out with that. I had a bad experience with that. It doesn't mean you have to just flush it down the toilet. Package it, set it up in a corporation, hire a CEO, hire a president, hire a vice president, and just have that machine make you money. You can just take yourself out of the whole equation. So sometimes if you're an employee for a while, you may, like Robert Kiyosaki say, employee to entrepreneur. You want to move that same way. Don't try to skip over. If you skip over, you won't get the mindset, because you have to know all of these. Because once you're a business owner now, you're going to need entrepreneurs and subcontractors to work with you. And unless you were one of those guys, you won't understand what goes on in the mind of a subcontractor. As a business owner, you're going to need employees. Unless you were an employee, you wouldn't understand the employees just need a couple of days off to go on vacation, or everybody's different depending on their age group. So don't try to skip. Go employee, entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur yet, perfect time. COVID is here. The government's sending you a check to stay afloat. You don't even have to worry about your basic minimum amount to survive now. You can survive and start being an entrepreneur now. If you were an entrepreneur, get that business structure as a corporation where you're working your way out of it. I just saw a memory on Facebook today. It just popped up 2 years ago today. I was in Canada driving to New York. I'm talking to you from New York City right now. And I had in my hand a check for $36,000 and something dollars. I just sold my trucking company. Well, that moment, I just held the check. It took 3 months for the buyer to look at my company history, check my insurance history, check my company's credit history, see if my trucks had accidents, had insurance claim. So it did take a while. And then they needed to take a loan to buy my truck, my service van, and the company. My service van and the truck were actually worth about 15,000. How come it was 36,000, Raymond? Well, about 15,000 of that was just for the name Ray Trucking Services. I built something, I work it, it sustained me. I was making a lot of money, but then I got overweight and obese and almost died on the road. So guess what I did? I didn't say I'm never going to do trucking again. I came back, I put drivers on the truck, but I will still get those calls in the middle of the night. This is first, I was an employee in my own company, so it's entrepreneurs. And then I structured a cooperation, and the employees, because of the high risk of trucking, the employees were giving me too much headache, and I didn't have the capacity or the cash flow to expand. Because in trucking, you need at least 5 trucks, 5 to 6 trucks to actually, 5 trucks has to be on the road all the time. If I'm driving my own truck, I'm not a machine. The truck gets oil change and get grease. My heart and liver and lungs don't go to the workshop and get grease. If the truck engine blows up, I can't. My engine blows up, I'm dead. I fall asleep, I'm dead. I'm not covered by insurance, full coverage. So at that moment, I put my truck for sale and my company for sale. And so the work, it took me 2 to 3 years to build that company. So in 3 years, I built a name that was worth $15,000 that I didn't even want to do anymore because of the competition in the industry and because of the risks associated with that. Meanwhile, I had other companies. I had a holding company. I didn't sell my contracts with the trucking company. I sold the name of the company and the license and driving. It's called the rights to operate on the road in North America. I sold. I didn't sell my clients or my contracts or any of that. So now I was hands off doing dispatching work. All it took me to do was a phone call, 2-3 phone calls every evening for the next day to say where the trucks are going to go. And I'm making 15-20% on that load. So I did that. I sold, cashed out of the company and start taking money. Now that's me moving from employee to entrepreneur to business owner. What did I do with that money? I actually invested, but guess where I invested? I was young, 29 years old, 2 years ago. I invested in personal development. I said, you know what? I came to Canada as an immigrant. I came with $120. Anytime I have more than $120 in my pocket, I'm better off than how I came. So it's cool. I take a lot of risk because I have the immigrant mindset, and I'm always immigrating and expanding my mind and my business to the next step. Always, 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 no matter what industry it is. I love jumping into a brand new industry where I have no idea about, learn everything about it, package it, position myself, package and promote it, and then sell it. And that's how I learned to get a better understanding of how economics work. Now I'm in diplomacy world. I get to go to the United Nations. I get to work in Africa, all across the globe. And now I'm putting get so much more knowledge. So now when I want to do a business, I'm able to think about everything that actually affects that business on a micro and macro level. And it's quite interesting. And that's my personal story a little bit in there. So I'll give you, if you're taking notes, it's about what you know is number one. You must know something. You may hear about these, but it's seriously important that you write it down and you follow and do the 6 things. If you don't do the 6 things, you will never make it at the other end. Lots of people in this industry trying to be author, speaker, mentor, and the biting tails as you go around a circle or come over here and somebody drags them into this one-way street. I call it dead end street. When you may see a mentor and they take you down a street and they offer you to teach you one thing, and then they're selling you 20 different things. I don't like that. I think if you're going to choose a mentor for one thing, you should do that one thing with them. If you're, my clients, I offer them an overview of everything. I would say, hey, I'm going to work with you to map out where you are to where you want to go. And in between, you may need to have other experts and mentors to come in and give you that extra push. I don't own anyone. I don't try to keep you down. I always help you to go to the next level by offering other experts, like what Leo is doing on this amazing webinar that he put together. He invited some of the world's best speaker on there. And just, was it a year ago almost, about 80% of these speakers were at my live event where Leo was also. So I know these guys are phenomenal, because people like James McNeil are great, Amir Ezra, Jim Hetherington, Leo is a phenomenal speaker, spoke on my stage several times, and I've spoken on his live stage. We've created great memories. And now you may say, what's the other three things, Raymond? Well, it's what you know, it's who you know, and the next one is who know you. So these things are, these two are external of you. It's, you got to know something. You got to know something. You got to know people. So Leo, let's use him as an example. He knows how to make this online course go on, this online seminar go on, webinar, training, right? But then he had to know that first. He had to know that he know that and have experience in doing that, and he could build the whole thing. And he has a team of 20, 30 people working for him to make this happen, to package and promote and position. Now, he had to know he cannot just do this by himself. He can, but then he won't go as far and reach those people as he is reaching and impacting life. You may say, hey, how do you know? Well, yesterday I was on a TV interview from a girl I met last year in California, because I didn't actually meet her physically. She was in the room. I met a guy, and she said I was there too. And the guy met me, and now I'm on her show. So you never know. You never lose. Anytime I attend the event, it always go on and on and on and on. Somebody keep adding and adding and adding to you. It's called relationship capital and human currency. Again, so let's continue the story. Leo knows people, so he gets us to come on here from wherever in the world we are. Mir Ezra was in South Africa. I'm in New York right now. Jim Hetherington is in London, Ontario. Jim, what's his name? Raymond Aaron's probably from Toronto right now. So the next part is for Leo to get people to come and join. If you're an attendee, if you're going to see this on a replay, if you're going to watch this on YouTube, if you're going to watch this on a replay, if you're somebody going to send you this video, you're seeing this because you know Leo, or you know somebody who knows Leo. And so that's how influence is created. And at any part of this 3 steps, if Leo knows Leo is a celebrity, but he has nothing to sell, or he has no friends, is no good. It's useless. He has influence, but he don't know how to utilize his influence. Now, if Leo is a genius, like most PhD professors that teaches us at colleges, why are they so genius? And Robert Kiyosaki talks about this in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. His one dad was the head of the education department, and the rich dad just did real estate and teach them how to play a damn game, Monopoly, and say, hey, just keep buying these houses, sell them, put them together, and start renting. So each of these is key. You may be on a large stage, on top of the stage, and speak to motivate and influence, or be like right on here and speak on Leo's stage, and you have nothing to sell, no product. Then what are you doing? You're just making yourself famous for what? Even if you don't need the money, you have to. I think Mayor Ezra talk about this. The importance of money is just an exchange of energy. It's not. And a guy, 10x Grant Cardone says it's not your money anyways. When did you print money? When did you make money? Right? It's just cash flowing through hands. Right now with COVID, did all of the money in the world just vanish or disappear, or did somebody blow up any banks with the money in it? I don't think so. Is people stopped moving, cash stopped flowing, and then the depression happened. So similarly, as cash stopped moving, that's a physical thing. It stopped moving, it stopped exchanging hands, although it's electronic now, there's a depression. Now, think about it, when thoughts and ideas stop moving around, which COVID is actually affecting. I commend each of you that are on here for being in this mindset that's very open and willing to learn and be a part of this forum, because most people, it gets to you, especially if you turn that TV on. It's going to ruin you. I've been to Florida twice this like last month. I've been downtown New York City. People in Florida say, "Hey, you're from New York. Aren't you guys dying over there?" When I go to Florida, they say, "Hey, it's the opposite story." When I come back to New York, "Hey, oh my God, I hear it's horrible." No, it's the same. It's the same. Stop following the media. And in a way, as an investor, I know how to read statistics. I also invest in real estate, and it's Florida right now because everybody says it's the worst place to go. Now I'm going there as an investor because I can buy low and hold and maybe sell high later. So you have to know if you're going to be one of those guys that just talk about people or events, or you're going to talk about ideas and the future. You got to decide that. Okay. So it's all based on you. And there's a unique way to become number one in the world. The world has no space for number two. If you're Jack Canfield certified, why the hell do I need you? Honestly, I can go get Jack Canfield. If you're Les Brown certified, why do I need you? I can call Les Brown. So and these guys, I've met these guys, partner with them at different level. I have a forward from Brian Tracy and a collaborative book that Leo was telling you about. And the knowledge in these books are just phenomenal, because I don't know everything. I know something. I'm good at marketing and branding and positioning. So I invite experts, geniuses that don't know how to position and package themselves, put them in here and bring that value to them. I build websites for them. The book has a website. So now, and as these books circulate, somebody might read one chapter and go to the website to look at one author, and then they're going to see everybody else and say, this guy looks nice. He looks interesting. Or they go down the chapter and like, oh, I just bought this book to support my friend and my family. And then they read one day and say, oh, this chapter is very powerful. So it's a new world we're living in. It's very digital, but I also think you can never replace books, physical books. Nobody ever throw them out. Nobody ever dumped them. They always donate them or gift them or pass them on to somebody. So books are important. And today, I hope you're a little bit confused from the way I am sharing, because this is how in the personal development and growth industry is. It's very confusing because everybody is an expert in a different part, and you can never really fit it together. I just came into this 2 years ago when I sold my company full-time. I just went all in. I say, I'm going to see Grant Cardone. I'm going to see Jack Canfield. I'm going to see Les Brown. I'm going to see Brian Tracy. I'm going to see Tony Robbins. Went and met them, shake their hand, not just to get the picture, but to feel the kind of people they are, or to kind of read them and their body language and how they operate, and try to get a sense of how they think. I can get a whole lot of their information on YouTube for free, but you can't know a person really unless you actually meet them. So that's why I went to meet them all. That was 1 year I wanted to do, 2018. When I sold my trucking company, that video with my check, I was driving from Toronto to New York, picked my wife up, and we drive to Florida to see Les Brown, and then we drove to Texas while on a road trip, having a blast, and I drove to Texas to see Grant Cardone and back to New York. So I really invested in myself, and I wanted to understand the industry. And what I understand is you got to do a little bit of all these things in a certain particular manner to nail it. Many people come in, just write a book, think your world will change. No, it's a prerequisite to be great, but it's not the only thing that's going to make you great. If you just speak on stage, it's a prerequisite to be great, but it's not the only thing that's going to make you great. So I've came up with 33 principles in this book, the handbook to becoming the authority. And I've trademarked this word authority because I wrote it in a very particular way. I bold the word author so you can see as a catch, as a tagline, to become an authority, you must be an author. Yes, and I said it's one of the many things that you must become. And let me just recap. How is our time going, Leo?
No problem. You have at least 10 minutes. If you really need, you can go.
Excellent. So we are all born with a God-given gift and talent. What you know is what you know. I can't tell you who you are. I can never tell you what your purpose is. I can never tell you what you should do. I can ask you those questions and then you can tell me. Or you can sometimes ask yourself those questions. Who am I? What's my purpose? What should I do? Am I going in the right direction? Is this, when I look at my life on my rocking chair as a retiree, or on my dying bed, you're gonna do this because time will come and go. When I look at my life, would I be happy with it, or what would I regret? And just snap out of that and go do it. Sometimes you think, oh, this is me, and your habits has held you back and held you down so much. Habits are the worst things you can deal with, and I'm sure Mayor Ezra's touched on that, and that will hold you back. This is why there's so much. People talk about mindset. Yeah, you need to start with mindset. I'm talking at a level where if you've been trying it, I'm not teaching mindset. I'm not teaching all that. I'm teaching if you've been trying a whole bunch of stuff, taking a whole bunch of courses, and to try to be number one or try for people to know you, there's a few things missing there. You might be doing a bit of all of these, but if it's not these three things and these three things is included in whatever else you're doing, that's a simple version. The bigger version is 33 things. The simple version for me to share with you in half an hour is just is 6 things. You can go do it in yourself, do it on your own. If you want somebody to hold your hands, walk through the process and get this done for you, with you, to show you and make sure you're actually doing everything to become the authority. Because in a general thing, almost everybody's on here, all the speakers on here are invested in real estate. Why aren't we all teaching real estate? Well, you have to have a thing to bring in income, and you can be your own ATM machine. I just hit Leo, send me the link, I click it, I come on here, I'm sharing my knowledge and skills with you. If you believe that I've got something that I can help you to achieve what you need to achieve, then you're going to invest with me. And I should be so good that I'll say, if you don't get what we started working on, and not just if you don't, if I say do this and you don't do it, that doesn't give you your money back. If you do all the things I tell you to do, which I've done myself, which is in the book, and you don't achieve what you really wanted, then you'll get your money back. But I don't work for free. I will definitely give you your money back after you've tried, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, because I believed in you enough to take my time and give it to you at risk-free to you, not free, but risk-free, right? And so my course is $1,000 US. Leo and I are great friends. I am I am an attendee seller. So look, I have to make sure that if I'm the person sitting on that side of this presentation, would it make sense to me? And so in times of COVID, I'm not going to ask you for 1,000, but I cannot give my value for less than 500. Why? Because it'll include an actual a physical copy of this book mailed to you, an e-book emailed to you right away, and actually the ebook's available to all of you right now. You just, once you come off here, go to my website. It's my name as it spells on the bottom there. Go to my website, raymondharlall.com. If you put your name and email, it'll automatically send you the ebook of this. So even if you don't want to invest with me, I want to gift you the ebook for absolutely free, no strings attached. And the main value, well, you're going to get the physical book mailed to your address, autograph, of course, and my online course. You're going to get my online course, which is actually the entire book written, spoken in high definition. You're going to get access to that 1 year only, because after a year, you don't need it. I'm going to teach and pour everything into you, and then that's it. You should go on your way. I'm not looking for mentoring to mentor people for 5 years. That's enslavement. Okay. So my coaching program is 1 year only. By then, if you don't achieve everything we said you're going to achieve, you get your money back and off you go. I'm sure you'll achieve. I'm not going to work a whole year for $500 for free. Well, that's not the whole year mentorship. That's my bigger package if you want to work with me more. But I'm also going to give you 30 minutes of telephone call with me to talk about, when I say 30 minutes, that's a minimum. And that's, I have to put a value on my time. It's 30 minutes. If the call goes a bit longer, it does. Lucky you. But if it's 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes. We'll know if it's a fit then or not to work with each other also. So that's it. You're going to get my book, my printed book with 33 principles to go pro as an author, speaker, mentor. And why you need to do that is the easiest, fastest way to monetize your knowledge and skills that you know your entire life. It's the knowledge you know. It's not just what you know. I'm going to teach you not just how. What I'm going to teach you is take the knowledge that you have, the skills, the expertise, the passion, package, position, and promote that so people will come to you and buy from you. They will come after you, because if you chase after clients, they're going to keep running. If you do the right thing and package, position, and promote yourself and say, hey, I'm open for business over here. This is what I do. I have a service. If it's a good fit for you, take it. If it's not, then don't take it. If you're going to take it, we're going to be civil, and I'm going to give you what I'm going to offer. And if you accept, it's a money transfer, and we achieve the goal. And you go on to make the world a better place. There's things also, if you're going to write a book now and you want to really change the world, our world has changed. And with global diplomacy and all that, when you do work now, if you write a book, don't just write knowledge alone. And now I'm starting to do this, where all the work I'm doing now includes one of these 17 sustainable United Nations goals. Because why is that important? 194 countries in the world has signed on at the United Nations to achieve 17 sustainable development goal by year 2030. 5-6 years has passed. It started in 2015. Before that was a millennial goal. Not much was done. But then it was only the poor countries were asked to do certain things. Now all the countries in the United Nations are asked to do something better for an environment, do something better to end poverty, for people to do more public-private partnerships, that's government and corporations and NGO, government and NGO. So as you, this is if you want to work with me on a different level on how to really influence at a level, yes, where you make money, you offer service to your client, they become great. That's what I'm actually offering today, and it's just for 500 US, which is 100% money back if you don't achieve your goals. And it's an online course, a book, and a call with me. But my bigger program is much more expensive. I can't take everyone. I don't take you on if you don't do this first, because then I don't know where you're at and how to work with you. And I help you as you take your passion, skill, and expertise and want to put it in a book. I make sure it covers at least one of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Why? If you ever wanted to work with government, if you ever want to work with a city, if you ever want to speak at the UN, you're never going to get there unless you've packaged, positioned, and promoted for it. Okay? Look at Greta, this little young girl. She sailed from Europe into New York and spoke at the United Nations. 11-year-old, does she know how to sail one? No. She had to have help. Does she have her own sailboat? No. So yes, she won. She has won the Nobel Peace Prize and $1 million. 11-year-old just spoke. All the 11 years old can speak. They're all brave. They're not scared at that age. We get scared as we go more in school and we get bullied and all that. So if an 11-year-old could come out, speak about something, make $1 million, and be known around the world, what's stopping you? Right? But we can all dream. You can keep dreaming. Dream, and it's in your head, your perspective. 7.8 billion people, we all think we're always right. Why do you think we have a mess in the world? Right? So it's time we all stay in our lane and let the world know what we're best at. And that's by writing a book, speaking on stage, and hosting events like this. And I write all about it. It's all part of the 33 things you need to do to become a author, a pro. As an author, speaker, and mentor. Why? It's going to get you cash flow into your business. Then once you have cash flow from sharing expertise, you can invest in assets. I don't like the stock market. I do have some money there. I love real estate. Thank you, Leo. I don't know if anybody have a question or we don't have time for that. It's all back to you. If you're interested, connect. If you're interested for the online course, ask Leo and he will send you to me. It goes through him. This is his platform. This is his summit. So if you're interested in this $500 course and a half an hour call and the book, message Leo and he'll get you over to me. We're great friends.
No problem. And at the same time, they can simply go to CanadaInvestorsClub.com under events, special offers. They can see your price and everything too.
Excellent. Excellent.